Good morning. Welcome back. We are on episode 23 of our 40-day series, keeping us on the same page or helping you and us stay on the same page in our marriage. Today, we're talking about clarifying responsibilities, and checking in on a regular basis to make sure nothing's fallen through the cracks or getting missed. Confusion over responsibilities can create some conflict. So it's important to know who's handling what, who's taking care of the dog, who's doing the dishes, and making sure that's clarified and revisited on a regular basis. I have to make sure I'm not assuming Danny is doing something because she could be at the same time expecting that I am doing it. If we're not communicating and clarifying those responsibilities, one, things fall through the cracks. Two, some resentments can build.
Clarity when it comes to responsibilities really helps you work together as a team instead of in opposition. And so if you're communicating consistently and you know week to week what responsibilities are being handled by who, and also being willing and able to jump in and take up some responsibilities when the other person is maybe having a busy week or falling a little short, instead of getting mad, you can have a conversation and come in and say, how can I help you? How can we work together as a team on this?
Yeah, we're a team. And the other thing to consider is gifting versus capacity. So something that we have done since the beginning, like Danny does the bulk of the cooking because she's amazing in the kitchen, and I do the dishes. She doesn't like doing the dishes, and ultimately it's not fair for her to go in and cook this amazing meal and then also have to clean up and do the dishes.
But listen, I make a big mess when I cook. So having
a giant mess.
I'm not sure that it's entirely fair that you have to do all the cleaning. Because
I get the benefits.
I do make a big mess.
Like a big mess.
Yeah, but you do get the benefits
I do.
Of the delicious food that we get to eat, and I get the benefits of he comes behind me and cleans up the mess. And so we share in the responsibility of making meals happen and making sure the mess is cleaned up, but while also leaning into where we're each gifted.
And that sounds like a perfectly reasonable, fair deal for the most part, right? But it's not always going to be fair because sometimes there are going to be instances where we are at capacity. So even though Danny does the bulk of the cooking, maybe there's a day where she's just had a long day at work, maybe some outside external stressors, and I need to pick up the slack and clean. And if she's at capacity, I'm not going to finish cooking the meal and just be like, all right, I cooked. Your job to get up and do the dishes. It's my job as a husband to see that and react in such a way that's loving and take care of the meal, and then also take care of the cleaning part. I need to be aware of where her capacity is at so that I can pick up the slack, take care of the meal, take care of the cleaning, so that she doesn't have one more thing to be thinking about or dealing with when she's at the end of her day and really just at the end of her capacity.
Works both ways in that. So there are some nights when Daniel has to rush out the door because he and our son need to get to a jiu-jitsu class that they're taking. And so on those nights, maybe we eat dinner a little bit later and there's no time for him to come behind me and clean up the dishes. And so when they leave, I will step in and do that part as well, because we're a team. We're not working in opposition. We're working together.
Yeah, and I think it's important that even though there's clarified responsibilities, if we're a team and I see that something needs to be done, there have been days where I come home after a long day and the kitchen is a mess. And maybe this is a thing where like she had every intention to take care of it. And maybe on that particular day, it was agreed that that was going to be her responsibility. It's my job as a spouse and part of this team to not get exasperated when I walk in the door, but to pick up the slack for her because I don't know what her day looked like. I don't know, I feel like this just happened just the other day where I came home and I started doing the dishes. And from upstairs, you were like, I'll take care of that. And I just ignored that and just finished doing the dishes because they needed to be done. And so while this area is important to clarify responsibilities, it's also important to be aware that the word fair is great. However, sometimes we can just love each other best by picking up the slack, seeing something that needs to be done, and owning it yourself.
Yeah. And not just with dishes. This is
just a good example.
Any area of marriage and shared responsibilities, this can come into play.
If you feel like you're picking up the bulk of the responsibilities around the house for an extended period of time and months are going by, and you're building resentment because you're not communicating, sit down and have a conversation and find out what's going on and how you can adjust and reevaluate what the responsibilities are.
Yeah, clarify before the resentments happen.
Definitely. So that's all we have for episode 23. See us tomorrow at 6 a.m. We're going to be talking about creating a mission statement for your marriage. Thanks for watching.
Thanks for watching.